Welcome back to Book of Dawn, IOTH Academy. Let's just pick right up and go back into it. Is there anything we need to handle at the table as a Lozrin approaches you with all these huge books? Or do we want to say that you hastily excuse yourselves and just eventually extricate yourselves from the scene? Does anyone have any window dressing, any points they want to make here, or no?
Do I recognize any of the high magic books as the ones that I snagged from IOTH's library?
No.
Ooh.
That's the book. These are all
Gotcha.
theory. That's like practice.
Will a Lozrin let me take the base level one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. And I take the noob level one.
All right. It's not Elven High Magic 101, but it might as well be.
Yeah.
What was that intelligence check you made before the
entry level nanotechnology?
Exactly.
Int was about the mask. At least that's the time he rolled it.
Yeah, the Int was seeing if Athalor could put together the mask clues. He could not.
you got you took the 12, right? I see. Yeah. I see.
Accidental advantage.
Mm-hmm. It do be like
23 and 8.
But yeah, does anybody have anything else they wanted to happen at the dining hall?
Nope.
Okay. You see Renobi and Dorina over at their table throwing food at each other. And the wardens are patiently waiting for you outside, ready to escort you back up to the familiar spire yet again, barring any objections or diversions.
Athalor makes a quick comment to it. It seems so weird that they're just living. He looks to the other students.
The warden is living? Sorry, out of character. What?
No, like the students are just being people compared to the complete tumult we've had over the last couple of weeks. Of nearly dying multiple times, losing Ariana to another continent, being blown up by golems. Like they're just normies.
Does feel a bit distant, doesn't it?
I was trying to get back to her study room and is just having a stare down with this warden and is interrogating him while they're having a conversation of, what is this about? Is this urgent? Is this coming from Elnau? What is
Yes, this is from Elnau and Master Untermaler. It's regarding the outcome of yesterday's excursion. I believe all of you have been briefed on that. I haven't been briefed on that. It's need to know, and you don't. Have you been briefed on it? No, because I don't need to know. Any other questions? Yeah, they put crumpy nuts in your breakfast cereal this morning. Oh. Sorry, what was that, student?
I'm ready to go.
Yes. Was there a problem, miss? Is everything all right? Very good. And you make the all too familiar trip via flying carpet back up to the spire, back up to the council room that's been set up. The only people present are Untermaler and Master Elnau. Elnau looks fairly neutral, hard to read. Untermaler looks tired and grim. They thank the wardens, send them outside, shut the doors.
Please, take your seats.
Oh, it feels like being in class again.
Is the mood in the room is Untermaler's mood we're in trouble mood or he's chill, he's
No,
angry?
not roll an insight check.
He's vibing.
Hard to read. He's a minotaur, different facial expressions. Elnau is sort of perched up on a chair, not sitting in it properly. Her legs are on the seat and she's sitting on the back of the chair. The staff of IOTH is leaning up against the chair next to her. All right. As far as we can tell, the Book of Dawn has been destroyed. This leaves Alexander's status presumed dead. His Dark Academy he set up is very well shrouded from direct divination spells, so we're still trying to piece together what we can, asking the right questions, doing some scrying attempts, but our original belief right now is that Alexander is dead and the book is gone. This severely curtails the threat facing our home. Without the Book of Dawn, it's likely that their ability to strike at us and pierce our defenses, erase people from our memories, an existential threat has been eliminated. We can't... Untermaler has already turned his attention towards the next upcoming crisis. But since all of you came with us to Onderud, Athalor, is there anything else you know about what happened to the sage?
I think we might be able to get more idea if we should head into the wellspring room and see if we can recharge Master Redknob's orb. She seems somewhat scryable at the moment. I tried to look last night, but it's unclear, and I'm not sure if it's the orb being somewhat exhausted or if it's something else.
Okay, good. Regarding the situation in Onderud, well, that's Athalor will discuss that. To the best of our knowledge, that is the situation. Alexander is dead. The book is gone. The sage is... We're trying to find her. Thank you all for your part that each of you played yesterday. I don't know if we would have saved that city without you. I don't know what would have happened without your help and your ideas. I'm glad all of you were there. I don't know if you want to talk about Diffraxis and our defenses. Our entire military arm is working on that. All of our best mages are trying to track down the sage. I wanted to share that news with you and see if you had any questions or if there's anything else that we need to know before we proceed. Beyond
what
that,
are the plans for that massive orb? Can we safely transplant it out of Onderud?
Well, they're going to contain it first. It's under the authority of the Cothramoyer at this point. It's their planar pocket. They're the ones who will know best what to do with it, whether to leave it stabilized and contained in the apparatus that was your suggestion, or to try to remove it or even destroy it. But that's some time away. The apparatus is just barely intact. They're reinforcing and building a more permanent version of it. But like I said, they may choose to reach out to us for help, but it's their territory and their home. What else?
Do we think that, or do we know that the Dark Academy is still going to continue with Alex being removed? Is that something that can be divined, asked?
We don't know a whole lot about them, their operations, their body count, their resources, any of that. For the moment, we are assuming that maybe Alexander was in charge. Maybe the Herald was just dangling him as a figurehead. I don't know. None of us know. We're going to continue our efforts there, but hope that losing the book has dealt them such a huge blow that they'll be quiet until Defraxis is attacked. We're not guaranteeing that. We're not relying on that. But our hope is that threat will be dormant until we can deal with it.
Have you considered moving on the ritual that IOTH statue told us about? To become the official headmaster for school, we also probably need to use the same occurrence to crown a new head of a Tower of Divination and Necromancy.
Those are less complicated, fortunately. I'm waiting for Untermaller's agents to pull their latest report. I was most concerned about the book. With that gone, we'll have to see if our conventional defenses, if it would be better for us to preserve our power so we can hurl everything we've got at Defraxis, or if it'd be more advantageous for us to hijack that ritual. I don't know. I'm working on it. What else?
We extracted information from the head of the person. Brought back.
We're trying. His mind is entirely rewritten and modified by the machine prints. It's proven extremely resistant to our normal efforts. We won't give up, but it's going to be a tough one to crack.
Did my people agree to increase arms shipments?
Roll an insight check, please. Anyone who cares to.
I care.
I care.
Garnet, you've seen this face before. This is the bad news face.
Uh-oh.
We are uncertain as to the future of the Cothramoyer and the Cothramoyer Moor, your father.
Uncertain?
Yes. The crisis of protecting the city and the crisis of the damage to the Gyre has now been supplemented by the crisis of your uncle's physical revelation. In the immediate moment, everybody agreed to not think about it and just focus on saving their city. Now that that threat has passed and the Gyre is stable, your father has a lot of questions to answer. And it remains to be seen whether he's going to hold on to his power. It's too early to tell how bad the political damage or how complex the political situation is going to be. I mean, no offense, Athalor, but Onderud politics are needlessly complicated. There are a lot of different interests, some of whom have been waiting for a very long time for an opportunity to shift the particular balance of power, and this may be their opportunity. Given that that is the case, I think we'll be able to leverage this into some additional benefit, but it's only been a day since they were attacked. They're still focused on repair and recovery, and they may have a leadership crisis on their hands.
Understood.
I wasn't going to burden all of you with that, but you asked and you deserve to know. I was going to tell you afterwards anyways, Athalor. What else?
Athalor looks over to Garnet, wondering if she's if she's gonna have a speaky, if she's looking particularly verbose.
Oh, she's like thinking, but is not presenting the ideas she's thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
when this war is over, I will see to it that what you three have done will not be forgotten.
Garnet
But now,
laughs subtly. Like in a crazy kind of like,
Untermaler looks at her for a moment, looks over at El now, who doesn't give him anything.
for now, what resources are not dedicated to finding the sage and protecting ourselves from the Dark Academy are entirely focused on Diffraxis. You will all be called upon. You will all have parts to play. There will be no idle hands in the defense of this school. But until that need grows urgent, I ask all of you to treat yourselves with kindness. You have earned it, and more to the point, you will need your full strength for this next trial. So take a break.
is that all?
Yes.
Can we go?
Yes. Go.
Looks at the party and slowly gets up to see if they're also willing to go, or
Athalor takes the orb and kind of bows his head as he holds it out and just places it on the desk. He's evidently got a lot of reverence and respect for the departed Red Knob. The Master Artificer will want to
messages Athalor. I need that.
have a look at this later. I want to have a look at this later.
You're like, you know what?
Oh, there's a smudge here. I gotta polish this before I hand this over. I'll you know, just...
Gotcha. And Athalor then bows his head, takes the orb. Like, yep. and then makes a very pointed look to Garnet, like, you better be fucking leaving right now, because I'm out of shit.
Oh yeah.
Mason was thinking about lingering, but after that, it's like, no, let's just get out of here. We're just going.
All right. Door closes quietly behind you after you've moved a few feet away from it, and the entirety of the school is yours until I interrupt you with something else. So I hand narrative control over to the party.
You have a plan?
It's another idea you guys won't love, but
Let's hear it.
the orb. How long does it take to attune Athalor?
Just an hour.
Right. The only thing that's maybe a loose end is the Herald and whoever
You
else.
are not thinking of scrying the Herald.
I'm just saying that if he picks up, then we know he's alive, and we have bigger problems on our hands.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll also see where he is. And if I get blocked, then I know he's also alive, right?
You think the Herald might just be dead, gone from that?
I don't know if he was. Thought Athalor, didn't we feel him in the room?
Yeah.
Hear
Yeah, I
him?
mean, it was.
When we scryed in, he did some dangerous things. But we do know that the Void has claimed legendary tier foes before. Boreas was consumed. So it stands to reason that perhaps an Infernal would be vulnerable to that.
I don't know. What if he's somehow immune to it, or is able to escape? I don't even know if he was physically there or just a patron to
he was
Alex?
there. I
Oh,
thought he
Alex was
there.
also there many times.
True.
That was the real Alex. We know that. But is that the real Herald? We know that the Infernals never really show up in person for stuff. But I don't know what Herald and Alex's relationship really entails.
Athalor kind of like holds the orb at like arm's length and then points at it like,
Please.
this is okay. Fucking trade offer. Do you need to have some Bronthan help in case he strikes back at you? Because evidently, we've seen before that Salarian shit fucks with him. And
Right.
yeah, so long as we've got some safeguards in place, you can call up. Okay?
What kind of safeguards?
Great question.
Hmm. Yeah.
What do you Bronthans pray with? Incense? Couple holy symbols? I'm not good at religious history, but I'm just worried about. I thought I'll tell the orbs. Just 2 traumas a week.
Takes the orb and well, if this
Budgeting.
the Fraxis army has any brain to them at all, they're not going to strike when the sun is up, especially if Brontha's involved. That is, sunlight does power a lot of their magic. But I was thinking of having Bronthan hands on duty in case, well, all of us are squishy magic users and we could use some more robust, hands-on type of people.
What, like the Phoenix Knights? Would they give you an honor guard? I feel like that could be negotiated.
I feel like we can do a similar teleportation circle the way that we went to Onderood, and just to Brontha, so that if there is some kind of counterattack towards Brontha, we can quickly ship them back.
Are you saying you want to go to Brontha, scry on the Herald, and then come back?
No, okay, 2 different ideas. I want to scry on the Herald here.
Okay, what's the Brontha thing for?
For the Diffraxis, I was thinking we should maybe call some robust Phoenix Knights to, if they breach our barrier, once they get inside, that magic might not be good in close quarters all the time, and maybe people with swords would be better.
Yeah, we could definitely see if there's a way to start in placing a permanent teleportation circle on the causeway or something.
I also feel like we could maybe combine those ideas. Maybe not in the same way, but perhaps would it be beneficial if you wanted to scry on the Herald? There's other devout Bronthan students here, right? Could they, like, shield you, protect you in some way if they lend their energies, their powers?
Wait, does Cyrus know you went back to Brontha?
Cyrus is irrelevant, Athalor. I don't need to think.
I'm just saying, if we're talking about Bronthan students in the body, he seems like possibly one of the most relevant, really.
True.
Like definitely in the top 10%.
Thinks back at the Pavab conversation and just, it's all of this is complicated. I don't need to think about boys right now. It's scrying Herald. Yes, through Arcana-ness, do I know if scrying is like a one-way thing or could it be like reverse tapped?
Scrying is a one-way thing. But the Herald is known to not play by the rules. When Athalor tapped into that room to provide a target lock for your ritual, somehow the Herald was able to perceive.
Do we know that?
Athalor knows that. He absolutely knows that. He tried to convey it earlier.
Garnet might not know because she resisted through wisdom saving throws or charisma saving throws. I beefed it.
Well, he knows exactly where we are. So I
That's
don't think it'll
true.
be quite a surprise who's going to be knocking at his door. I mean, the whole point is he alive? And if he is alive, could he have saved Alex somehow? Could he have done something to help them avoid the sphere? I mean, my line was cut as soon as the room exploded, I guess, but I didn't see them die. I mean, I guess DM check, I didn't see the sphere consume people, right?
Correct. When everything imploded, it broke your connection and you lost track of what was going on in that room.
We know for sure it was possible to survive it because we saw a literal survivor there.
Did I clock Tasselmore in that room as well?
You did not see him when you went down there. Yes, you saw him when you scanned the room. You saw him physically present.
Okay, and we've got other options as well. There's, well, other terrible options in the list of bad ideas we're going to execute today. We can also look for Tasselmore, and that would give us another idea as to whether someone survived the blast or not. There was someone else there, but I don't know their name. Just another mage. I didn't recognize them. Must have been part of a Dark Academy or just a miscellaneous infernal minion.
Yeah, I don't know if Tarselmore would have been able to survive that, but an infernal maybe. But it's worth checking the people that are there that we know well, and we have Tarselmore items maybe we can use to reinforce that.
Oh, I've got a lot of those.
But we don't have Herald items, right? Anything?
We've got
We'll be right back. Carry on.
We've got a lot of that dream poison.
Is that created by him?
I think.
Presumably.
I always assumed it was just like a secretion.
I hate that you said that.
I hate it too.
But let's ask our DM when he returns.
When our DM returns. So you should probably start attuning to that unless you want me to scry on them, which I can also do.
I guess I thought I was more familiar with the Herald, with studying and having him in my dreams and shit.
Maybe that makes it more dangerous, though, at the same time.
It strengthens the power of scrying.
It could make sense. How about we do it in order of ascending danger? I'm a little bit more familiar with Tarselmore, so before you attune to the orb, I can see if anything picks up there, and then we can take an hour of you attuning while we figure out how to best shield ourselves against potential infernal reprisal.
2 questions, gnomes. Is the dream poison something that was created by the Herald?
Yes.
There we go. And secondly, I forgot. I forgot the second question. I'll get back to it.
I'm sure when cleaning up the Red Knop office, they probably have vial samples of the black ice.
Oh, I just remember my question. Do Infernals or particularly Herald have Devil's Sight or see through magical darkness?
A lot of Infernals have True Sight.
Ooh. Does Herald have True Sight?
Yes.
Okay. Well, fuck.
Is True Sight vulnerable to, hey, look over there?
Yes. True Sight, it means that you see through illusions, you see invisible things, you see through magical darkness and all that stuff. You don't necessarily see through, look, a distraction.
Also, lore question. Would you describe the black ice as a secretion?
I wouldn't not describe it as a secretion.
It's curious.
That's somehow more disconcerting. Thank you.
Like the herald's made of black ice, right? He doesn't have an actual physiology. So like occasionally part of it melts. What?
It's basically him. Okay, yeah, I think that would work for the purposes of scrying if we had a sample.
Yeah, that would count as a body part. Excellent. Which is the best possible link.
So, what do you think, Garnet? Trial run on Tarsamore, then that gives you time to track down some of that, so whatever sample was taken from Redknop's place?
Yeah, sure. I'll go get the dream poison stuff, and you can scry Tarsamore and keep me in the loop.
Alright, that's enough.
I'm just
Alright, I thought I will give you a circle just in case anything happens.
Thank you. Athalor's gonna kneel down in front of the statue of a sage, since I assume we're outside of the headmaster's office. Oh, I better not be fucking myself here. Rifles through his bag, through a bunch of paper, parchments, miscellaneous stuff until he finds Tarsamore's demon summoning notes that he pilfered a while back, and uses those as part of the focus to try and scry Tarsamore.
Okay. When you attempt to scry on Tarsamore, you see nothing.
I don't have anything.
Was it like a nothing as if they like resisted, or a nothing? Can you tell?
The two results are identical.
Nothing in the orb.
Maybe that survivor just got lucky then?
I didn't see what surviving looked like.
Not great, but able to still think, communicate.
Were there any other...
Defend themselves even? Spellcast.
Were there any other parts of people left?
Were there?
Rogue feet? A shoe?
I will let you roll a retroactive investigation check.
Natural 20.
There were feeties.
There was a toenail in the corner.
He clocked those toes.
There was a toe, a skeletal toe. That's a piece of Tarsamore. You have Tarsamore's bony toe.
Well then, there was. Did I like take it? I have it, you said? Okay. Actually, now that I remember, it pulls out. Here's a bony toe
in my pocket.
Athalor gives him an absolute incredulously disgusted look.
Yeah.
He's just carrying that. So, I must know. Was that in your pocket from yesterday, or did you put it in after you slept? Did you come in today thinking, you know what? I'm going to walk around with a toe in my pocket.
To be honest, I kind of forgot about it. It was like in my robes. I took my robes off and then I put them back on, and it was just still in the pocket. Yeah.
That's slightly less disconcerting, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. Yeah, that was there.
Athalor is dumbfounded. I guess we can kind of take this as a kill confirmed on Tarsamore. I don't think people just leave their toes behind.
Arcana check, please.
Can you live without a toe? Google has your answer.
From just Athalor.
12. Both of you.
The duality.
I got a toe.
I have determined the toe is not magic.
Let's actually lucky dice that.
What is that melody?
All right.
You know what? I'm gonna use the lucky dice too,
So
since we've
much
had a long
better.
rest. Why not?
All right, go for it.
That is
Yes,
so much
my
better.
knowledge of toes is unsurpassed.
So, your successful toe lore check. Tarsamore is a lich. Liches have this thing where when they die, they come back to life because their soul is not with their body, it's elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, Boreas, right? A Titan. But his soul and his body were one and the same. So when you not just like discorporated his body, but deleted it, it perma-killed him. But Tarsamore's soul is not in his body. Therefore, even if it got obliterated by a sphere of annihilation, he will respawn.
Oh shit! Athalor goes and bangs on Elnau's door.
Comes back with a, where'd everybody go?
The orbs on the floor by the feet of the Gelgo statue. Athalor's banging on Elnau's door when you get back.
Yes.
We
Athalor.
have Tarsamore's toe. Tarsamore was in the room when the Void Sphere happened.
Mhm.
His body was discorporated, but he's a lich.
Right.
The Tower of Necromancy needs to try and find his soul before he can be of more use to the Infernal Cabal.
So actually, you know, now that I think about it, his soul was with his body. It still would have snapped back, but his soul would have to be with his body because he didn't respawn that one time you beat him because you trapped his soul, so it couldn't bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
So my metaphysics were slightly wrong. But the point is, he is likely to come back. If that is the case, his soul will return to his amulet, which is likely protected somewhere, and under several layers of wards and shrouds and private sanctum spells, traps, guardians, etc.
Did the soul cage not break like its homing beacon?
The soul cage, like, if the amulet reached out to like pull him back in, you grabbed him and held him there. Yeah. So like he couldn't respawn while you had him, which is why I was so pissed when you pulled that off, because it was, you know, he's just whatever, you can kill me and I'll come back. But that actually worked, which is why they went through all the trouble of busting him out and killing the Master of Necromancy, because he got so owned they had to go through all that trouble.
Mm.
The most likely place for his amulet would be the Dark Academy, some hidden tomb somewhere. That being the case, I doubt even the necromancers could pull him back. The serpent lore that he used to execute this ritual in the first place is poorly understood. Now, if you were in the room at the exact moment and happened to have a trap the soul spell again, that would have been a different story.
Right, okay. I have a lot of his research on soul magic, if that's helpful.
Absolutely.
I'll get it from the stash. Thank
I-
you.
I will turn it over to
Athalor
the Tower
kind
of
of backs away
Necromancy.
from the door of like, carry on, and obscuring the view of Garnet coming in with the black eyes.
Well, I probably went to the room that you guys were at because I don't know where you went. So
They're
it was
right outside Elna's office. They're in the statue room up in IOTH's former office. That's
Doing
where
the
he was
scrying?
doing this. Yeah.
Oh, where were we scrying?
We
In the
scryed on Tarsamore in that. We were probably going to move somewhere else for the scrying on the Herald, which is far more dangerous.
Oh, I was just curious where you were. Where were you when you were scrying Tarsalmore?
Oh, in the statue room outside.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So where do you want to go to scry the Herald? Where is everybody, and what other preparations, if any, will you make?
Got to attune Garnet for an hour.
Yeah, I'll start with a tune in.
Did you want to explore the option of other Zaylar worshippers helping you or trying to? Or? I don't know if that would even work.
I don't know how
but...
I would explain commuting with an infernal that is anti.
Do you have to explain it?
I mean, you are the blessed child. It's your duty to seek out and destroy Zaylar's enemies.
DM check. Could they actually buff a scrying spell? Thought it had more to do with the knowledge and possession.
Roll a religion check here.
I think the framing it would be like more so just protect if the herald does anything in response, as opposed to like buffing the scry.
Got it.
So
defensive.
Or could they protect them?
It's unlikely that I have to check some spell lists. There is some magic that could help protect against malevolent influence, since again the herald's presence is a sort of spiritual poison, which is why even if you scry on him, you're in danger. Normally that's not the case. But divine magic could protect you from that malevolent influence. The question is, are any of your classmates packing enough of a punch to matter? Because the herald is in a weight class of his own, right? Like low level magic may or may not actually do anything.
The power of friendship.
The power of friendship
together.
That's
no
true.
one's got protection from good and evil.
Yeah, I mean that would be
Ruby might.
Do you have that one, Mason?
Have what? Sorry.
Protection from good and evil.
No.
Yeah, I'm logging in to check Ruby's spell list right now. Ruby might have it. Recently codexified Ruby.
Aside from that, you'll get hit with a bless, which will give you plus 1d4 on saving throws.
Does not.
And the mental blessing.
What about like a scroll at the gift shop?
A scroll of protection from the gift shop. It's IOTHs.
That would be requisitioning a scroll rather than the gift shop. Students are allowed to request certain items to help in their research, and given how much a lot of you are sort of running amok these days, you could get a scroll of Magic Circle against good and evil, actually, which is the 3rd level version. It's significantly more complicated, and I don't think it's on any of your class lists, right?
That's also something that Mason would be very good at making.
True,
Fucking John Circle over here.
Yeah.
With the ornaments that the sage gave me for anti-dream stuff, is that like any relevant to anti-herald?
Yes, that would. It's not directly relevant, but it is adjacent relevant.
Okay, you can go and grab those. Along with whatever scroll we can get.
Yeah, Mason has a scroll of protection from good and evil, which isn't on your spell list, I think. Oh, you'll have to roll an Arcana check to successfully cast this.
Okay.
Put your heads together. Help each other.
Yeah.
Are we doing that now? Arcana check?
Where do you? Yeah, and where do you want to set all this up?
Probably in Garnet's room.
Yeah, he's quite familiar with that.
All right.
I'll know exactly who's fucking knocking.
20 Arcana.
Okay, yeah, you're successfully able to perform all the outlined details of the spell, inscribe the sacred runes, throw in a little bit of your own spin on there. This is, there's Oryx magic. This is Oryx compatible, so
Plus,
you
Mental
have that.
Blessings doesn't even need concentration, so we can stack these buffs.
True. That's what we got here. A little restoration word for fun, circle. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
if you beef this saving throw, if it exists.
It's less about me and more about what the hell I'm gonna get back that I'm more concerned about. So we have the magic poison. I'm extremely familiar with Herald. Well, DM check, like with my studies of Infernal, plus him being in my fucking dreams, plus pretty much meeting him, plus him harassing me my whole freaking life. Do I count as extra familiar?
I'll grant that. I'll grant that.
Sick.
He was living in your head rent free for a little while.
Yeah.
You were basically his landlord.
We have an item. What is this? A possession? Does this count as possession then?
Well, I mean, it would help against possession. I mean, he could.
I just was reading the scrying. It says connection, likeness, or picture, possession.
You have a body part. You have a body part.
Oh, that's a body.
Yeah,
the poison is him. He just melted some of himself. Yeah.
Okay.
And we've got we've each got these anti-dream poison talismans that were given to us by the sage.
Okay.
I think this is as safe as you're going to get. If you want to go knocking at Uncle Harold's door.
Yeah. If anything, if I start being weird, just lock me in the room. You twist that little thing on the doorknob and go get El now and get away from me. If I become ooga booga possessed or something.
Okay.
Mason just looks at Athalor.
I think she was telling you how to lock the door. I'm notably an expert.
Okay.
And kind of holds out the Book of Seosh. Someone want to hold on to this? Just so if I go ooga booga, I don't have this right now?
Sure.
Yes.
There you go.
Reach hand out, doesn't matter who she hands it to.
Gives it to
I
Mason.
thought it's Mason take it.
Mason like just doesn't like really do anything with it, just like looks at it like
Mason,
Oh, it's
as
also
soon as-
invisible to you.
Oh,
never mind, does not look at it, tries to
she's
look at
just
it.
miming like.
I was
"Take
getting
my
there."
books."
It's like, is there a book? Am I getting pranked? What's happening? I could feel the book though.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I'm not that crazy. You just can't see it.
I
Oh,
was
yeah.
reserving judgment until I felt if there was an actual
The book is
and then
rewriting my head. Is the book in the room with us right now?
Oh my god.
The book. I see.
Oh, that means to everyone else when she did the badass move with Berg's like, you will be alone like me.
Oh, fuck you. Now you ruined the fun.
You saw it once it like hit her face. All right, you saw it once she wasn't just standing there like you underneath the mask. Just that's not how it went down. That's not how it went down.
Man, all the cool points just went away. All right,
Garnet's just weird now.
I start scrying a bitch.
Okay.
The bitch being Harold.
Okay. Wow. You ever scry so hard you just get disconnected? Blew that save.
The Herald immediately responds. Monkus.
Who's a bitch now?
What? In the meantime, while she's attooting / scrying, Athal's gonna peek open the book and see if the little puddle has responded at all to the previous injection of dawn magic.
The dawn magic is still running through it like a tiny little thread in the middle of the ink. So, Jen, I think you already know what happened. You scried so hard you got DC'd.
Oh yeah, I'm good. Sorry, what happened?
Roll wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Also, with Una present, I have advantage.
Yes, you do.
Don't worry, I think you've got this one.
Wisdom
+5, plus 1d4.
plus 5 plus 1d4.
And then whatever the circle of good and evil does.
Oh, protection from good and evil?
Wow. You actually saved that.
Let's go! Buffs
I don't like that you said that with such a surprise.
Well, the Herald's saving throw DCs, as with all Infernals, are very, very 6th, 7th level students have no business tangling with him high. So, yeah. I'll just put it this way. That original roll, unmodified, would not have saved.
Let's go, Buffs!
Yay!
And this is why I said we needed to do some fucking prep.
Okay. See, I'm glad you're the prep guy. I'm the go fast guy.
Okay. Garnet, you look into the sphere and you see nothing. But dare I say it's a familiar nothing? After all, you've only been back for a week, a few days. last 5 years of your life, you've spent as much time in the void as you did at the academy. And here you are looking at it again. That absolute absence. Not darkness, just nothing. A blind spot everywhere within it. There's one thing you can see in there. A tiny speck of reality in all this nothingness. It gets closer, drawing slowly closer, unless you turn your gaze aside or direct your will somewhere else.
So it's like a light? Or it's
No, it's not a light. It's just something that isn't nothing.
waits until she can tell what. Well, waits.
Zoom and enhance.
Not zoom and enhance, but it's just like, what is that? And waits a few more seconds.
Okay, it's gradually coming closer. The distance involved is literally astronomical. Like, your vision must be zooming in and getting closer and closer at an unbelievable speed, and yet it's taking forever. Because it's, well, I don't know, millions of miles of emptiness. How can you measure infinite nothingness? Closer, 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 closer. A shape starts to take form as it resolves itself within your vision. No longer a mere speck on the horizon. It's a figure. It has mass. A body, perhaps. A person. Hanging there, utterly and entirely alone. And how long were you in the void, pray tell? 5 rounds of combat? 30 seconds? And it was 5 years for you? How long must it have been since the ritual went off? You've slept a full night's sleep. You've eaten a meal. You spent all night up studying. So how much longer has Alexander been there?
Do I see that body as Alex?
Yes.
But I don't see Harold. I just
Nope.
see Alex.
Mm-hmm. It must have been centuries by now. Completely alone. After what that did to you, what do you think that has done to him? After you sent him there.
Because I can see and hear. So do I hear anything?
Silence. Utter silence. He's not moving. He's not dead. But he's not moving.
Does he have an expression on his face? Can I tell that? Does he look injured?
No, uninjured. Completely intact. Still wearing the same clothes he was wearing yesterday when the ritual went off.
And he's the same age?
Mm-hmm. Then again, you didn't have a growth spurt when you were in the void for 5 years.
Yeah. But, yeah. Just gonna keep watching for a minute to see if anything changes.
Mm-mm. Nothing ever changes. You already know that. You've been there.
Just gonna wait a few more minutes to see if Alex moves, and then we'll pull out if he doesn't.
Garnet's watching essentially like years and years of Alex just being still, right? From Alex's perspective.
Well, yeah, but she's watching it from her perspective. So it's like watching it on incredible fast forward.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I don't know if I'm like holding the orb to my face or if I'm just channeling it, but we'll not drop the orb, but like almost push it away from herself and gasp in shock.
Garnet?
Are you alright?
He's He's alive.
The Herald?
Kind of.
Alex.
Wait. What?
He's in the void.
Was
Couldn't see anybody but him.
couldn't see you scratched in the Herald though, right?
Yeah. I don't know if the Herald is still living within Alex, or has Alex become the Herald? I don't understand. Alex was just there.
Doing anything?
No.
You say anything?
Can he get out of the void?
I don't know.
Did he seem to notice you?
No. But I thought the sphere destroyed things. I didn't know it was some kind of portal to the void.
Literally the other day we had this conversation, and I
Yeah.
specifically said it destroys things. Yes.
Yeah. But she doesn't understand how it's not destroyed, so she's like, what the how is he not destroyed? How did he get into the void? There's no way to get to the void without the book, I think. Like, do I know that? There's no way to get to the void, right? Unless you
Well, I mean,
the book.
technically your void pools that you summon can drag somebody there. There are other ways, but it's not common magic. And the only way to summon those void pools is either by being a void wielder or using the book. You're not aware of other means, basically.
Wait, Garnet, can you try scrying on something that you used the sphere on before? See if it's also in the void? Somewhere else?
Boreas?
Yeah, maybe.
Yes? We don't have anything of Boreas, right?
Hmm.
It's fine.
I certainly don't.
Maybe
Just
it's
try.
tenuous, but Athalor draws out in the air the spell matrix of Misty Step, which himself and Garnet both learned from a storm-touched feat we got when we defeated Boreas.
That's tangential, but I'll allow it.
Nice. High five. We'll scry on Boreas.
Swirling nothingness. 404. Either
Like same nothing?
no,
or
not the void. Either the target is shrouded, made their save, or dead. Is the result you get on Boreas.
am I allowed to scry again?
Mhm.
So I scry again to see if I think he failed his save or is blocking it.
Same result for Boreas.
I can't tap into Boreas.
Is there anyone else that got hit by this?
There's a hag
That
very long ago.
the assassin from the Nenri
Oh, the
labyrinth.
I blank on the name, but yeah.
Lady Neve.
And Knights of Terra Nimbus, that attack probably threw some people in there, but I don't remember who. I don't even know their names, so
Hmm.
Might as well try though. See if it's all the same result.
You could always scry on the rest of the body of that head.
yeah, I was thinking that too.
True.
But the creature doesn't have to be alive, right?
A creature does have to be alive. A corpse is an object, not a creature.
Calling people objects.
No, not people. Corpses.
Oh, Myrick.
Myrick was super shrouded. Super shrouded. If somehow Myrick survived, that may be unless the shroud is gone for some reason.
Well,
Garnet Shroud went.
Wait, if Myrick... Oh wait, do we know that Myrick got black hold?
Nope.
Garnet knows.
Oh,
Come.
never mind.
We
We'll
don't.
just say I'll just say Merrick anyway.
Oh.
Mason and Athalor.
Swirling smoke 404.
Hmm.
Dragon god not found.
For Merrick.
Just while
Hmm.
while we're throwing out random things, can you try Tarsamor's amulet? Just in case.
It's an object? Not a creature.
Yeah.
You
The
can
sphere
scan
targets the orb targets creatures or locations. Not
Might be.
objects. All good.
Gotcha.
Unless we want to throw a cat in there or something and see if we can track it, but it seems unnecessarily cruel.
No. I feel like if there would be a person that would get to the void from the sphere, it would have been Merrick, right? Out of anybody.
Wait,
But
are
also-
your the void creatures you summon?
I know what I have to do.
They have agency in the void, right?
Takes the book back from Mason and scries Seosh.
Okay. It's not what you think. Roll an Arcana check as you attempt to describe. Oh,
What?
somebody just played a Seosh 50.
Oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, man.
Oh, man.
Do I still roll?
Yeah, I still want you to roll an Arcana check, and they're giving you inspiration too because nothing is sacred. Are you happy with the 22? You have inspo.
Well, I guess I'll re-roll
And +5, by the way.
+5 and then plus 1d4.
No, you didn't get the
Or-
1d4 for
Yeah, the
abilities,
D4 is only on
unfortunately.
saves and attacks.
31.
Okay, well, it wasn't what you think, but now it might be what you think because everything's been screwed. Okay.
Love that.
So, you attempt to scry Seosh. And in so doing, you attempt to scry the void. In so doing, the attempt utterly fails. Because it is impossible to scry into the void.
But I just did.
A pseudo
But
void?
I just did.
Welcome.
But I just did it. But
And yet
what?
it's impossible to scry into the void. That's so weird.
Would I know that? How would I know that?
You know that now. When you make the attempt, it feels completely different than when you try to scry on the Herald, and it just does not work. It just like it's not even the swirling mist you get when you try to scry on someone and they're dead or it fails. It's just like the sphere goes completely clear, like there's nothing in it, like it's just a ball of glass.
Wait, are there inception levels to the void? Can we
Not as far
void
as you know.
deeper?
We need to void.
So I can for sure tell that he didn't block it
deeper.
and that the spell didn't fail.
Right.
It's getting like
It's
it's successful, but it gets blocked on its way to the void.
Right, because the
Because-
void isn't an actual real place. It's not a place you can scry on. It's very weird.
But he's not a person.
No,
That
Seosh is a person.
Oh,
The
okay.
void just isn't a place. It's not even another plane of existence. It doesn't obey any of the
Brain
rules.
hurts. What the fuck?
Can't scry on a person if they're not in a place, quote unquote.
What the?
You are now, I will tell you, you are now aware of the fact that it is impossible to scry into the void.
We'll push the sphere away, but now very confused. And well, I wanted to check in Master Seosh, and this scrying doesn't work in the void. But Alex was in the void, and I just scryed on Alex, who I thought was in the void.
Was that an illusion then? Seeing Alex?
An intermediary state?
Would I have like any art like check to figure out the difference?
You have Arcana. You have do an Arcana check with advantage for magical entities in all of your studies.
Wait,
Also,
you said there's a spell that you could learn from a book about tearing holes between two places using the void, right? Maybe the space you traverse in between those two locations is this pseudo void.
like the ethereal plane of some
The
sort.
ethereal plane, as far as you know, the ethereal plane is a boundary between real places, and the void doesn't count. So that you're not aware of an intermediary state.
But would it be like? Are we thinking that it's like an ethereal of an in-between plane between real?
I mean, that's Athalor's theory. It doesn't line up with anything you've learned about the void so far.
Yeah, Athalor's theory is that the void teleportation spell that you seemingly were looking into a couple of months back, whatever was between those two gateways might be this pseudo void that Alex is in.
When I was scrying on Alex, did he blink or seem like he was breathing?
Yes.
Were the clones that Alex summoned able to breathe and blink?
Yes.
So am I rolling to tell the... Okay, let's just roll this. There you go.
+5.
I'm losing
Plus
everything
5. There's a
today.
36.
I'm losing all. There's a 36 pass. I'm losing everything today. I can't. This whole week I've just been losing. Somebody like, that will never work. This is impossible. The deep secrets are, and that's a natural 20. Okay. Okay. So it is impossible to scry into the void. So when you scried on the Herald, you did not actually scry on Alex. You scried on the Herald. The Herald's ability is to extract from you your own shame and guilt and weaponize it, in addition to a bunch of other stuff. But that's his sort of core power of despair, is using the things you've actually done wrong or that you think you've done wrong, using the truth, but weaponizing it and twisting it to the most painful, harmful version possible. So when you scried on the Herald, you saw Alex in the void, meaning that the Herald is probably still alive, because when you attempted to scry on him, you tapped into one of these visions that the Herald generates and creates. Does that make sense?
So I looked at a Herald illusion? Just a giant Herald illusion?
Okay, just try and scry Alex.
But I just did.
No, you scribed the Herald.
Right.
And you saw Alex.
Oh, okay. And well, I imagine, can we do that? I'll just go get like an Alex object or some shit and from his room.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got his Ocarthal pin from the Green Gala thing.
Oh, okay. Then we'll scry Alex.
Emptiness. Completely clear. The same thing you got when you tried to scry Seosh.
That implies alive then, right?
Alive and in the void.
Wait, so, but if the Herald thing was an illusion, but that's actually the case, so he's in the void then.
Wait, so you said the Alex thing was like the Herald's thing or like the Seosh thing? Sorry.
You scried it when you attempt to scry on Alex, you get the same result as when you attempted to scry on Seosh.
Right, so it's confirmed that he's in the void then.
That indicates that Alexander is in the void.
But we don't know if the Herald is with him or not.
Herald is probably not with him, because when you scried on the Herald, you didn't get that total disconnected failure. You got something.
Something he projected.
Why would he project that?
try and make Garnet feel guilty?
Well, the book got rid of that for me, so
I have a silly question.
okay.
When you summon these void creatures, can you send them back to the void?
No, when I stop concentrating on it, they just stay. They exist for an hour and then they disappear.
Disappear where?
Mm. Would you like me to send you to the void, Athalor? Because it was so
No.
pleasant for me last time.
I'm just saying that.
Waves the
Maybe
book
they-
of Seosh at him. Ooh, you're alone.
And Athalor just like sees Garnet. She's just like holding a mime book.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So the Herald wanted you to see the truth. Even if it was an illusion, you can create illusions of what the truth is so somebody can see them, right? It's just like basic concept of minor illusioning something so you know how it looks, or to show somebody else. And so he wanted you to know that Alex was in the void, but why, right? The things that he's shown you are to hurt you in some way or make you feel a certain amount of things. So the Herald thinks by showing you this, it will create some kind of reaction, some kind of response that he wants.
I'm glad he's there. In the void.
Why?
What?
Just human me. Why?
Well, bad people go to jail. This is just a more fucked up kind of jail.
Didn't you go to that fucked up jail?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy that.
Willingly.
Well, I didn't know it was gonna be 5 years. But I know what it's like and it sucks.
How?
What?
When you were there, did you forget us?
No. Thought about you a lot, actually.
Thank you.
You could say it in a meaningful way.
You just seemed a little bit angry.
How did you get out of that exactly? Out of the void?
Well, I feel like I heard Ariana's voice. Felt like I could feel her touching me. And maybe I heard Athalor. I don't remember. There was like a light and I had to just reach out. And when I did, because that was like the first people I saw in a long time. And then I reached out and I was just out.
And so, if that didn't happen, you think you would have been there forever?
I like to not think about
Oh,
that.
sorry, I just... It's,
Maybe?
but if there's a way for someone to have pulled you out, there must be a way for someone to pull Alex out then, right?
I guess it depends on if Alex has something he cares about as
Well,
much
there's
as Garnet cares
person.
about Ariana.
It's one person. And we'll gonna go grab the head of the fucking dude as a I feel like if you have a patron, you are the possession of the Infernal, right?
Monk.
The head is a possession of the Machine Prince.
Okay, carry on. Carry on.
I would like to scry on the Machine Prince with the head as a possession.
Oh, we are just absolutely doing everything today, aren't we?
So
Because
what you're telling me is that he's living rent free on that head.
I'm very familiar with him, and To justify it to the party before I just maybe nuke myself, the Machine Prince is a void user, and if he was somehow, I don't think we knew he was there, but he could have thrown them into the void, or is someone who can get them out, either has put them in or can take them out. I want to scry to see if he's in the void or not.
Okay. Don't die.
Please, it's 59. Please, gnomes, let me roll for this. Please, I will not be able to live a week not knowing this.
Roll an Arcana check.
Yay! Oh, lucky duck. You know, let's just see how high up we can get. There we go.
There's a 35 clear.
Where he at though?
Where them bots at?
There's a very, very brief flash of emerald green light. Entirely like the light that fried your ass recently, Garnet.
Okay.
Miles upon miles of solid gemstone. A huge sphere, seen not from the outside, but from the inside. Carved on every single inch across this miles-wide chamber are runes and inscriptions that, though you only catch a glimpse of them, they are true. More to the point, they are truth. The law that governs this reality. Rising from the surface of this enormous emerald sphere are towering creatures. And when I say towering, I mean thousands of feet high. Their bodies entirely mechanical, with countless limbs and blazing, glowing eyes. They trace their hands across the runes and inscriptions, running them in a countless eternal dance. You can't tell exactly how many of them there are, but they seem to be at perfectly oriented points in the sphere. Gravity here seems to be pointing outwards, so they're all inwards, jutting like spikes inwards toward this empty central point. They all look familiar. Every single one of them. You have seen, though it were in dream, the true shape of Anachronous, a mechanical titan. And now you see the others, the scribes who govern the emerald tablets and the laws of the firmament. And you see amongst them one, utterly ignored, not tracing its arms across the runes. And unlike all the others, its face is completely obscured by a smooth metal mask. And it turns directly to look at you.
You have chosen to reinitiate contact. We will proceed with the design.
You knew it was coming. Have a good night, everybody.
Oh no, my soul!
Yeah.